What's happening? Please, y'all. It's your boy Papa Dub. Don't be mad at me. Tried to tell him. Goddamn. My but this time she pregnant with twins. Another collection plate. Come on, preacher, that's kind of strange. I'm sorry, God, I need that little change. I gotta do a couple things. Cause that stimulus, it ain't stimulate. Tax time, the mama got pissed and won't let them claim the baby. They shooting again. These just crazy, they need some help. Man, they shot him in the hip. He fell out and shitted on himself. My cousin Paul called fed time. Up the road, did a whole dime. He used to call home. I heard niggas crying in the background. Saying to myself, this ain't how we supposed to live. Turn on Facebook, man, another bitch that got killed. For the love that my dog losing weight out here smoking cocaine cigarettes. 8 years old, shot in the head, had nothing to do with that. That baby innocent. Go get George Zimmerman if y'all just wanna kill a bitch. That's why I'm asking Jesus. Please tell me why you leave us. Tell me why you leave. These people wanna dead. On the internet capping, that shit is fake, bro. In the mirror showing your ass, putting no makeup. Man, y'all better wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Man, y'all better wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Man, y'all better wake up. I've been telling y'all better wake up. You can't nail bitch, say Papa Duck, ain't say nothing. I told y'all everything. I told you I like the government stole it. I told y'all about COVID, the CIA and the cloning. MK Ultra, the whole world's under hypnosis. They turn the TV off, that's how Hollywood control us. And ain't no cure for cancer, you're right, that's some bullshit. If they can lead us and go to the moon, they'd have been undid it. And if you took the shot, I pray for you. Lord, no. Don't want black folk to grow, so they put us on birth control. And just cause you go to church every Sunday don't make you saved. 12 years of school's how you turn niggas to slaves. And our minds, they put shackles, they lie, trickers and trappers. They use the influence of athlete, actors and rappers. For real. That's fucked up, they did to Emmett Till. And all the pain his mom and family had to feel. That's why I'm asking Jesus. Please tell me why you leave us. Tell me why you leave. These people wanna dead. On the internet capping, that shit is fake, bro. In the mirror showing your ass, putting no makeup. Man, y'all better wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Man, y'all better wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Man, y'all better wake up. What's happening? It's your boy Papa Dub. I've been telling y'all about this shit for a long time, bro. I get on YouTube every day, drop videos on nothing but that sauce, and I'm telling y'all what time it is, and I'm telling y'all these people want us dead, bro. We living like it called to do this, and bro, I done been wide open just to hate and hurt and kill each other every day. You feel me? You feel me? Man, one time for all the folks that's already woke, the ones that ain't, need to wake up. Need to wake up.
What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. Why my face broke down like this? Oh my God. Why is my face broke down like this? Because I'm looking over some things, right? And some things came back to my mind that really, really got me in awe. Y'all see the title? The Donnie Brasco effect, aka the Don Russell. Y'all knew I was going to come around and spin this block 1 or 2 times. I'm going to start my Don Russell series tonight. I'm going to save that. I ain't going to give too much in one night. But it pisses me off about certain things, and certain things I just get upset about. Some things I laugh about. Y'all remember when I told you that Don Russell was going to jail? Y'all remember that? A lot of people sat back and said, "Oh, Don Russell the muscle. Don Russell this and this. Y'all let him on y'all platforms." And when y'all let him on y'all platforms, he destroyed you with lies. I'm the only one who didn't let him on a platform. But when I say I speak facts, I don't gotta come out. Oh, no, I'm gonna show you facts, and I'm gonna show you how this tie into Brosco too. When I tell you that I play sometimes, but not all the times, I mean what I say. So let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. So for people that said, "Oh, Dana don't know what he talking about, this and this and this and this," I want y'all to remember that. Okay? Because this right here, extremely personal for me. Hold on. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how. Whoa. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to show you how this ties into Brosco. Right? Then I'm going to show you how some other things tie in. I'm going to show y'all how the lies got started and how a lot of you people believed every lie that was told. They always say you don't believe everything that you're being told now. You can't be that stupid. You can't be that naive. You can't be that stupid. Excuse me. And you can't be that naive. So, where's that? Okay. There's a list of things that's coming down the pipe. And he's another one that I just can't wait. I just can't wait. Just can't wait. So we're going to go there. We're going to go there. We're going to start here. First lie. Don Russell said, "Lois Lolo Tiny Hudskins. I never worked for RSK, nor have I ever booked a show for him." Wait, but you heard him on To Be Determined say he booked shows for Robert. You heard him say he booked a tour. And when I said, "Why do people listen to him? He's lying," they told me I was lying. Well, here it is for yourself. He's telling you that he never, nor have I ever booked a show for him. I did foot the bill for his last tour. How can you foot a bill for R. Kelly's tour when the money that was advanced to him went to your mom's bank account and you went stealing. Because his manager Mason put a bad credit card up for everything. Have you ever wondered how Mason is starting to being brought down now, or trying to be brought down, because of the fact that the deal between Angelo, Tim, James Mason, and Don Russell went bad? And the only thing James Mason was trying to do was just create peace. So he said, I was and still am a friend and consultant. I thought you was Rob's brother, but you're just a friend and a consultant. Okay. Rob asked me to unravel all the BS that was damaging his career. As I began asking his frenemies and associates questions and calling them on their unethical practices, they got vindictive and began attacking back. I started the rumor that I was fired after the media made me his manager because, one, Mason would have sued him for breach of contract, and two, I was and building a project with the same city that is attacking him. I can no longer be quiet. How are you building a project in the same city when you have no fun? I'm sorry, you stealing from Robert. I get it. Look at how the stories unfold. Dana inner workings with Angelo Clary, Azrat, Line Larry, and prosecutors. Agent provocatives. This came out 2 years before people start saying it. You notice once Don started calling Azriel Azrat and started saying Line Larry, that's when everybody else jumped on. But I got a question for you. Who is Allison Tolbert? Every post I put up, pay attention to the name Allison Tolbert. Now, you see this, right? At the bottom it say, when you move in silence, people don't know what to attack. Always keep it classy. Okay. Check it. Remember, whatever post I put up, always look for the name Allison Tolbert. If you don't see the name Allison Tolbert, just be like, okay, and just listen. But listen, to all RSK Day One fans, the Clarys and Savages planted a lot of moles. This was put out after everybody stopped talking to Don. So check this out. I.e. Steve Greenberg, Nicole Blank Becker, Daryl Johnson, James Mason, John Holder, Dana J., Jasmine Jazzy Johnson, whom, by the way, is Geronda's sister, Joycelyn Savage, and Azriel Clary, to disrupt RSK's life/camp. Joy and Az deflected because they were against their family's malicious agenda after getting to know RSK. RSK pulled together a covert team of investigators. Stop. You heard him say that on Choke No Jokes channel, right? And you also heard him throw Keith's name under the bus, right? Okay, as long as we understand that, as long as we got that clear, let's keep it moving. And we begin to weed the villains out and unravel the conspiracy surround his life and career. Though we have uncovered a lot, unfortunately, time was not on our side. We had began to secretly film our own docuseries starring RSK and a ton of unforeseen content. This entire public lynching derived from greed. There is an enormous amount of information along with the evidence that is purposely being disregarded because the government and special interests. The current judicial agenda will not be overturned unless a miraculous string of events are moved into play. You see at the bottom, Don Russell. So with that being said, let's go here. When Dabrowski talk about Jasmine and the rape stuff, I don't be moved about it because some people be like, oh no, this is new. Jasmine doing this. I know where it came from. And for Dabrowski to say that word for word, he had to be talking to Don Russell. Pay attention. I said Don Russell, now I'm a clown, and put laughing emojis. He put Dana J, absolutely. Show your proof. I'm sure it's Angelo Clary. But look what he said after that. Dana J, I heard you got a rape charge coming your way from Jasmine. You know the little tramp that you screwed first, then introduced to RSK? Wait a minute. This was 2019. Tobolsky wasn't around. So when I laugh and say, don't play with me, I mean what I say. So I know Don Russell is in contact with Tobolsky and continuing to put him up with stuff. Just like Don Russell, I know for a fact, paid a room for Bedbug when he was in a hotel in Houston. He also got a phone call from Richard Arline. And Richard Arline called him and said, yo, Don got some work for you to do. If I had my main channel, I would run back the joint. And when Bedbug said, yo, my peoples told me this, and this. Who was his peoples? Don Russell. Okay. Why you think every time I mention Don, they all get mad and they all get hot and bothered? Because they didn't think that I was going to come to the bottom of this, which I did. So let's go here. Let's go there. The Honorable Paul G. Gardoff, United States District Judge, Southern District of New York, United States Courthouse, okay? United States versus Donnell Russell. Dear Judge Gardoff, the government respectfully submits this letter with the consent of defense counsel to respectfully request that a limited number of exhibits that the government intends to seek to admit at trial be accepted under seal. In particular, the government respectfully requests that government exhibits 1409A, 1410A, 1418A, 1425A, 1502A, 1502B, 1505B, 1512A, and 1512B be received under seal. By way of background, government exhibits 1409A, 1410A, 1418A, 1502A, 1505B, and 1512A all appear to be the same document. A PowerPoint presented called The Survivors, which the defendant created, circulated with different times to different people. For example, on December the 4th, 2018, the defendant, using the alias :Don, sent an email to Lifetime executives about the docuseries to which he attached the PowerPoint presentation, The Survivors, GX 1410, 1410A. The defendant, using an email account in his own name, then forwarded that email and PowerPoint presentation to his co-conspirator, which means his co-conspirator is the person that did it with him, Cash Jones. The PowerPoint presentation that the defendant sent to Lifetime executive contains allegedly derogatory information about certain survivors who appear in the docuseries. For example, the presentation appears to contain arrest photographs for one of the survivors, along with information about the alleged arrest, GX 1410A at 8, with the court's rulings and guidance from the final pretrial. Defense counsel has informed the government that he has no objection to the sealing of the exhibits. Okay. Conference in mind. The government has added redactions to government exhibit 1410A. In particular, the government has added proposed redactions to a photograph with the word pedophilia. Listen, the government has added proposed redactions to a photograph with the word pedophilia. R. Kelly being accused of abusing women, running a cult in Metro Atlanta, and other statements that refer to sexually transmitted diseases. Government exhibits 1425A and 1502B and 1512B are similar PowerPoint presentations containing personal information and accusations relating to women associated with R. Kelly. I'm going to stop right there and ask you a question. Why do you think Rob was superseded in Chicago? Here we go. I'm start here. Why do you think he was superseded in Chicago? When I told you Don went and made up some shit, gave some shit, talked about some shit, that's what I mean. But then he get on y'all platform and say, I'm for my brother. Well, we now seeing where the superseding stuff is coming from. Don Russell. And you see what the government said. The government has added proposed redactions to a photograph with the word pedophilia. I think y'all missed that. All of y'all that said Don the Muscle. And I told y'all stay away from him because he's the link to create the RICO. Y'all thought I was joking. Although the public has an especially strong right of access to evidence introduced in trials, United States versus Amodio case law, it is not absolute. Nixon versus Warner comic case law and United States versus Graham case law. Look, if I'm live, please. This become distracting. This is becoming a distracting. Please stop. For example, subject matter that is traditionally considered private rather than public will weigh heavily against access. This includes certain financial records, family affairs, illnesses, embarrassing conduct with no public ramifications, and similar matters. What I finished up reading on Rob today with the government's motion to eliminate, everything the government said, don't it covers all of that? Don't it cover that? The vulnerability, privacy, interest exception of the presumption of access. Of access exists to avert catering to a morbid craving for that which is sensational and impure. United States versus Cohen. The government's sealing request is narrowly tailored to prevent public disclosure only for those exhibits which contain private, sensitive information about certain women who appear in the surviving R. Kelly docuseries. These women are not expected to be witnesses at this trial. Oh my God. And the private, sensitive information about them is only relevant because of the defendant's attempts to spread derogatory information about them. And thus publicizing this information would further the defendant's improper campaign. The government respectfully notes that certain documents have been received entirely under seal in other trials. Look, the government respectfully notes that certain documents have been received entirely under seal in other trials in this district. This is New York we talking about, such as United States versus Ghislaine Maxwell. They threw that out there to throw you off. Should the court grant the government's request with respect to logistics, the government would propose submitting the relevant government exhibits at trial in front of the jury without mentioning its sealing request. The government is mindful that admitted exhibits at this trial will be published in electronic format on screens in the courtroom and will propose that the screen for the public be turned off only when these exhibits are displayed for the jury. Damian Williams. Here we go. Check this out. Dear Judge Goodall, the parties respectfully submit this letter in response to the court's order at the July the 14th, 2022 final pretrial conference, that the parties submit a letter updating the court on the parties' discussions about how to put before the jury the subject of the docuseries. The parties have conferred with the court's rulings and guidance in mind, and have agreed on the following stipulation in lieu of the trailer on the docuseries. On the evening of December the 4th, 2018, Newhouse held a private screening of the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, which was produced by the television channel Lifetime. The docuseries explored disturbing allegations against Robert Sylvester Kelly, aka R. Kelly, that could have resulted in criminal prosecution and could have had a devastating effect on R. Kelly's career. Some of the women who made those allegations were scheduled to speak that night. The docuseries was scheduled to air nationally in January 2019. Whoa. So, with that being said, we about to go in. When I tell you that Don plays games that I don't play, we're going to start here. Conversation between Don Russell and Allison Tolbert. Here's the question. Who is Allison Tolbert? The channel Allison Tolbert can be operated by two people, June Barrett or Cash Jones. You think I'm lying? Let's read. Let's start from here. Don Russell, Allison Tolbert, where are you headed? Allison Tolbert said, Don Russell in LA till Sunday. Okay. Allison Tolbert, why are you asking me? None of that's going to get him released. Second, I don't recall Rob instructing me to answer anyone. Hold on, make it a little bigger. To answer anyone. Don Russell, at this juncture, the only people that is impeding the process are those who have something to hide and benefited monetarily off of a man's who entrusted the wrong people. Okay. We should publicize that his manager stole his money. This is so effing sad. His camp will burn in hell. Okay. Okay. Allison Tolbert said, Don Russell, soon the world will know. We haven't discussed anything the people don't already know. Don Russell said, I'm tipsy. You're cute. At least the photo is, so I engage for some sport. Get some sleep. Rob's will be in good hands soon. Okay. And none of this is in order. So I just want you to know that. Don Russell, Joan, Durrell played their parts, and Mason. However, what happened after Mason is the question. Don Russell said, I negotiated his release from Sony. Wait a minute. He negotiated his release from Sony. Didn't Sony release him or drop him? But Don Russell said, I negotiated his release from Sony only to result in release him on YouTube. Only to result in release him on YouTube. Please come with something better than that. And this is why he wouldn't answer none of my questions on Choke No Joke channel, but he wanted to make a joke about it. Oh no, this is serious. So Don Russell said, Allison Tolbert, Linda, Joan, Durrell, Barry, Mason, and Holder were receiving his quarterly mechanical and performance royalties from publishing and distribution. In the first quarter in 2019, Rob received his first ever royalty disbursement after my team of lawyers took over his Sony portal at his request. Stop. If you have a team of lawyers, where are they at? You had a public pretender for the longest time. Where was Bryant Nick at? Things that make you Rob received a weekly allowance from first Barry, second Daryl, third Joan, fourth Artie, fifth John, until his bank account was dry. And that was after Linda cashed out, stole $25 million from the Swervo deal. Please Google, and the cash Diane Phantom etc stole the money. $5 million from Sony advanced him for the Christmas album in 2018. Stop. You put hashtag big facts, but I say hashtag big lie because your mother got the $5 million. And when your mother got the $5 million, you went shopping. Okay. Listen to this threat. And I get it. So before there was a bozo, before all that, this nigga say he ain't know me, but he respect me. How you respect somebody that you don't know? Listen, he said, please stay in your place for Rob's sake. Uh-oh. You are not in the room, any room, and you do not know what's at play. DJ, the actor, is a disruptor, and he good at the job he's been mobilized to handle. Allison Torber said, Don Russell, Then Allison Torber said, Don Russell, I don't deal with Dantes, which lead me to believe that it's not June. This is cash. And I'm going to show you why I believe this is cash as we go further. Allison Tober said, Don Russell, good night. Got a flight to catch. Allison Tober then said, Don Russell, Rob received 8 million advancements, not 5. 8 million in advances, not 5. Don Russell said, Allison Tober, where you hit it? Immediately, good night. Got a flight to catch. Like I said, none of this is in order. He said, I negotiated his release from Sony only to result in release him on YouTube. Please come with something better than that. Allison Tober said, Don Russell, I respect you. However, I know without a doubt your hand's not 100% clean. Whew. Then this right here. R. Kelly dropped by RCA amid fears. Allison Tober said, Don Russell, let's not deflect. That has nothing to do with his residual income, royalties, publishings, features. He done. Rob had money. Stop. If Allison Tober know about this and Don know about it, how you think the federal government got hold of this? Make it make sense. I've been telling y'all that Don been burning Rob the whole time, but nobody wanted to listen. Everybody thought I was just against Don because I was just against Don. No, I said it all is going to come out. So Don Russell said, what money trail? When I started working with Rob, he was already broke. And why on earth would anyone with sense expose their plan with all the ops listening, shaking my head? Allison Tober said, Don Russell, soon the world will know. We haven't discussed anything the world haven't already seen. Okay. Allison Tober said, Don Russell, let's be clear. Rob monthly income allowed him the means to live a comfortable lifestyle. Rob may have not received the money he was accustomed to. However, he was not broke. excuse me, Don said Allison Tolbert, Linda, Joan, Daryl, Barry, Mason, and Holder were receiving his quarterly mechanical and performance royalties from publishing and distribution. Rob received his first ever royalty disbursement after my team of lawyers negotiated. Stop. Nobody ever talked about Rob's quarterly mechanical and performance royalties until sentencing, when the federal government spoke on his quarterly mechanical and performance royalties. How would that be so? How would that be so? Nobody have these except for me. I bet they won't say I'm lying now. Don Russell, so you put me into this bullshit after a shit show you got going on. I wasn't going to entertain this bullshit, but you don't ever come at me with this bullshit, Fed boy. Oh, I guess talking to me. It's so much I can say, but I won't. I'll see you very soon. No, hold on. This is me talking to Don. Okay. See you very soon. And say what you got to say to my face. To me face. And say what you got to say to me face to face. And for the record, homie, nobody, and I mean nobody, put me no motherfucking well. Now let's talk about how you working with the feds to bring Rob down. And Dana J said it. He said, clown, please, anytime, any place. At Dana J, if that's what you're running with, post proof. And when I started posting proof, all hell broke loose. So nothing I ever didn't come with somebody testing me. Don Russell said all the thievery was made possible by the attorney Eric Custer, who hands royalties for Sony. So stop. Why wasn't Eric Custer's summons in Rob's case? Answer that question. Everybody he's name dropping, why wasn't they summons or brought up in Rob's case? The first time you ever heard of Eric Custer is just now. Make it make sense. Alison Tolbert said, Don Russell, Rob severed ties with Sony months prior to a documentary and his arrest. Sony dropping him from the label have nothing to do with his funds being allocated, redirected without his consent. I'm not going into all the details. Just know the money trail and paperwork don't add up. You know what I'm saying? The paper trail and the money don't add up. Hold on. So I'm gonna start here. And distribution. Rob received his first royalty. Okay. And we talked about that already. I showed that already. Okay. It's one that I'm missing. When he said Rob knew everything that I was doing. Alison Tolbert said, and this Don Russell at this juncture. Hold on. Make sure. At this juncture, the only people that is impeding the process are those who have something to hide and benefited monetarily off of a man who entrusted the wrong people. I have yet to hear you say, how can you help facilitate or provide financial aid to his legal counsel, which make you a suspect? I personally don't have anything against you. However, the money trail keeps leading back to you. Okay. Now, this right here, this coming from Don. I find it funny that this was given to the feds. And this is what I was talking about when I said Don spanked Robert. A lot of people don't have this, but Alison Tolbert put this across the paperwork to show us hers. So let's read what it say. Let's read what it say. Let's read what it say. Hold on. When I found out that, disclaimer, this was my first time taking a pregnancy test. I've saved it to show proof, but the lines are fading. This is the only post I have of proof. There were nights where I couldn't sleep. I cried to myself, why did I get myself into this mess? Some of you may think, why wouldn't I just run away? I signed the papers. I was basically signed to him. I was young. I didn't know a thing. I was getting myself into. My parents didn't really seem to care. If anyone offered you millions of dollars and asked you to be with them, you do it. He threatened me and told me that if I left, he would make sure nobody does. If he couldn't have me, I was scared. Imagine you being in my position. But of course, you are quick to judge because you aren't in my position. Imagine having a gun to your head while all of this is going down. If I did try to leave, which I did attempt to and got caught numerous of times, I wouldn't eat some days. I had to find ways to make sure I was clean because of not being able to take showers when I want. Finding ways to stop blood from dripping down my legs. He wouldn't even give me pads. The only time he would care for me is when the media is making him seem bad and saying that I was kept for a hostage. When those stories broke out about me, he would try to cover it up by going out in public to make everything seem okay. It wasn't. In videos I had to do for TMZ, they were telling me what to say. I was so nervous. What you see in any of my interviews is just a split second. Now check this out. Why would Don Russell have this? Make that make sense. Where's it coming from? If this is not a blackmail thing, then where's it coming from? Then check it. It says, see, in any of my interviews, it's just a split second of what we are scripted. His assistant would starve me. His assistant would starve me for days at a time until I learned it right, word for word. When I did the TMZ video, which his assistant interviewed me, you can see I was scared. I was using my hands. I was forced to make videos. I didn't get as much freedom, but he would reward me for doing stuff he wanted. A list of things he would do for me as a reward: new clothes, new shoes, a meal, rings, and sex. Robert always had a fetish for pissing on his girls / women. Stop. Didn't Don say on Choke Channel that Rob is known for pissing on girls? So this is the letter that Don wrote, trying to make it seem like it was joy. This is the letter that Don Russell wrote, trying to make it seem like it was joy. So when I tell you that Don role was to make sure Rob never come home, look at this shit. Nobody had to connect to TMZ except for Don. Go back and look at when he talked to Tim Savage, when he said, yo, I'll give you the number TMZ. I got a homie over there. Why would Joy do an interview with TMZ without the Don Russell connect? Make it make sense. While he would piss on us, he would make us swallow his piss. And if we threw up piss, And if we threw up, piss would turn into feces. I've been peed on numerous of times. I really didn't want to say this, but the truth needs to be heard. There were times Rob wanted to fuck me with a strap on. He was always into role play. I started feeling sick through at the end of the year 2016. And I did hear rumors during that time that he had herpes. This made me wanted to protect myself from him. And if we did anything with Robert, I told him I wanted a condom. So these are letters that Don wrote trying to make it seem like it was one of the people that was with Rob. But here's where all the slander came in at and the lies. Look, Allison Tolbert, pay attention. Keith went on Dr. Wright's platform with no hesitation. Keith Rob right-hand guy. Why haven't he went on to other platforms? It's not like he don't get messages from Rob. Who you think allocate funds to Joy? Y'all so far behind. Check it. Remember when the government came out and said what they said about Keith? How you think they got that information and to go into his bank account? From Don. Make it make sense. Why would Allison Tolbert say I'm giving death threats? That's all done. It says, I don't know you, but don't lie on me. I never stole shit. And you putting that FS out there is def a lie. That means definitely. Is def a lie. So how's it death threats when it's spelled DEAF and not DEATH? Pay attention to what I'm saying to you. You feel me? Pay attention. Here we go. Allison Tolbert again. Sharon Wimbush has lost her MF mind if she think people will link up with Dantes, Levi, or Bruce. Hell no. Anyone who follow her page, please unsubscribe. Sharon wants to destroy the movement. She wants to infiltrate the movement. Unsubscribe from her page and her continuous BS narratives. 78th Carpenter, a mass shooting, 11 people shot. Now, ask yourself this question. Who knows about 78th and Carpenter, which is a Los Angeles place? A street in Los Angeles. None other than who? Donnie Brasco, right? Okay. I want y'all to see the slander and the lies. Check it. No way in hell you support Rob if you F with Dana and Levi. This has been an ongoing thing since 2019 between us and Don. Breaking. All state court arrangements and criminal hearings are canceled effective immediately until July the 17th, 2020 at 5 p.m. due to the public health emergency. This cancellation applies only to state court criminal cases. These matters will be rescheduled at a later date. Hashtag Georgia. I just want you to see this. So now y'all know where the origin of all the lies that them people ran with. Larry, Angelo, Dana, and Levi, I could see cooperating with the feds all because of their hate for one person. The worst thing Rob done was met Dana and him to huge mistake. Well, have you seen me cooperating with the feds? Or have you seen Don cooperating? Check it. When I seen this pop up, I said, okay, this is going to get Rob jammed up. And then when I look at the bottom and I see 2017 RSK Enterprises LLC, I said, It says, without first obtaining the written permission of the company, specifically, I agree not to use the company trademarks, Mr. Kelly's name or likeness, or a quote from Mr. Kelly on any website and any publication. This is what Don sent to them people up in New York. That got Kelly's case. That's part of what got Kelly's case sent to New York. Here we go. All the lies. Sharon Wimbush want Kel supporters to work with Dante Jackson, who been working overtime with prosecutors to keep him locked up. Don't fall for it. Hashtag R. Kelly. Free R. Kelly. Check it out. Then at the bottom it says the face behind the fake Patreon account, Larry McGee. Hashtag Adriel Clary. During her stay in Vegas with Larry McGee, created a fake Patreon account with scam money off. Hold on. To scam money off Joycelyn's story. The only person who knew personal detail information was Azriel. Larry used this information to make it look like Joycelyn's account. The plot was to get Joycelyn to come to Vegas so he could convince Joycelyn to turn on R. Kelly. The goal was to show Joycelyn the indictments, Lifetime documentaries, brainwash her into leaving. His plan didn't work. Hashtag Joycelyn Savage. Stop. How would anybody know about the inner workings of what was supposed to happen if you wasn't fucking with them? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Now check it. Pay attention. Rob is still able to receive emails incoming and outgoing. Ask these bloggers what is his email address. They can't provide you shit, not even Bozo. Y'all better stay woke. Now you see where the wording changed to Bozo, right? Okay. At the bottom it says Keith don't trust none of you. Only person he trusts is Daboski, Dr. Rice, and Wimbush. 100. Real recognizes real. That's how I'm able to pinpoint who's with who and who does what, because I have the communications and the shit that's being said from Don Russell. That's how I can link Sean Hurst to Don Russell. That's how I can link his wife to Don Russell. That's how I can link Choke and Sean Hurst and his wife to Don Russell. That's how I can link Daboski, Lady G, and all of them to Don Russell. You think I'm just going to jump out there without no facts? Check it. Y'all remember when he said, if it don't come directly from Greenberg, fact check? And immediately when somebody challenged me that, I posted and what Greenberg sent me privately. And then you see it all die down. Now, check this out. Here's the lies that Bedbug was running with early 2020, 2021. That now they all trying to run with again. Him too, Dana J, not the only distractors. When you know the enemy is watching some shit, you just don't do in the name of R. Kelly. Many on YouTube have indeed impeded Robert Case, particularly Dante Jackson. How? That's when they tried to run that campaign on me again. Now, pay attention. Pay close attention. Allison Tolbert. The lie that was told to Lisa and Cassandra Kelly, stating I was Sharon Wimbush. Shame on you. I have never spoke against his family or sisters. Get your facts straight. 100. Stop. Right here. This the same day that Cash asked me, do I believe that Lisa and Cassandra is Rob's sisters? So when I put this together and I see this, I say, you can't play with me. Don Russell told y'all I was too smart to be played with because he done ran all of this and I done ran through all of this. So Allison Tolbert say Steve Greenberg know it's people that don't want to see Rob free. They pose as friends, but really they are enemies. Money is the root of all evil. Stop using RSK for profit. And truthfully, money is not the root of all evil. It's for the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you notice, Don Russell started coming out after them when they were on my channel and when I was talking to them. Pay attention. The minute me, Lisa, and Cassandra fell out and Dr. Rogers fell out, Don Russell became their best friend. So I know where things are coming from. That's all I got to do is sit back and watch. And when you give me that time, you're in trouble. So check this out. Allison Tober said, I was asked who was Levi. I've known Rob since 2012. I have never seen Levi in my time of being around Rob. Never. Stop. Don Russell said he knew him as a kid, right? But June Barrett met Rob in 2012. And when I called this out, when it first came out, it disappeared. But I screenshotted it and kept it for safekeepings. So when I start going after Brian Nix, Allison Tober come out and say, Rob didn't retain any of you to represent him. Many of you saw a money grab, so you jumped on the train. Dana, him too, and others haven't done shit to move the needle. Is it because Rob attorneys and close allies have been instructed to not have any involvement with you strangers? Stop. Well, when I did, look, please stop texting me while I'm live. Golly. Ooh. Oh, who this? Hold on. I had 2 texts. Don't text me nothing about that dude over there. That's who I'm talking to. Don't text me nothing about that dude over there. I don't care. But the second text, that's what's up. But the first text, don't text me nothing about that dude over there. So when this came out, right? When this came out, a month and a half later, the Dollar for the King, the R. Kelly Defense Fund dropped. Doug went through Rob to have it approved. At that point, a meeting had to be held in Chicago because before the feds came to my house and snatched my devices, I got a call from Will. And Will asked me, yo, have you collected any money outside of it? I said, no. Right then and there, I knew Don was spreading lies. So because I don't live in Chicago, while he's spreading lies to the people that's close to Rob from the inside, I'm going to spit the truth from miles away so that way they can see it from the outside. And Don couldn't back up nothing that I was saying because everything I was saying started to hit home. Now, I did my research on Allison Tolbert. One thing you ain't going to do is play with my emotions. This is a man with a woman head on it. Dana, how do you know? The arm's too big to be a woman. The hand too big to be a woman. The feet too big to be a woman. Y'all think I'm joking. Look at what I'm saying. These people are playing parasite games with Robert's life. Look how big this hand is compared to this hand. How come these fingers are skinny and these fingers are swollen? Make it make sense. Skinny fingers versus swollen fingers on the same hand. I mean, on the same body. Make it make sense. Now watch this. Have anyone asked Steve Greenberg who Rob top monthly donors are? Stop it. Anybody that have Rob's best intentions at heart, why would you come to social media to ask that question? Not unless you're working for them people. It says, have anyone asked Steve Greenberg who Rob top monthly donors are? Oh, he wouldn't tell you. Why? Greenberg trusts none of you. 100. Rob's circle tainted. That's why. Stop. That's after it came out that Rob don't talk to Donnie Brasco. So you got to make it seem like everybody's not credible except for you. So why would Rob circle and be tainted because he don't talk to you? I let y'all hear the recording from the Blockbender show, and when he said he have everything, he got the signatures, he got the passports, he got all that. But then you see on Hangouts and Google Meets and all that, and you see Rob's signature, Rob passport, Rob this, Rob that, Rob bank accounts. And that's being shown as proof that they supposed to be Robert asking for Apple cards. Make it make sense. Then it said Rob name has been used to scam supporters for monetary gain. This why people of the elite have sent their donations directly to Rob. I'm not talking about crumbs you see on YouTube. We don't trust no one in his circle, including Doug A. So wait. Didn't you just say in a post before that none of the lawyers talk to us? Primarily me. But when we start raising the dollar for the king, aka the R. Kelly Defense Fund, for Robert, and it's moving, it's getting traction, you want to come out and attack the R. Kelly Defense Fund, and you send Bedbug to do it, and then you turn around and send Sherman Hemsley from Bolingbrook to try to finish it off, and neither one of them can get it done. Make it make sense. Then you go here. We all know that Rob can't read or write, right? We all know that Rob have a deficiency, right? So why you go on social media knowing the feds watching and say, Rob not slow by any means. He peep game. Rob know his worth and what they after. Rob love his brothers, but he doesn't trust neither one of them. Rob haven't seen Bruce in over 5 years. Sharon is working with the very empire that wants full ownership of his masters and publishings. Money is the motive. Stop. So if Sharon is working with the very empire that wants full ownership of his masters and publishing, right? Why did you steal the masters of 12 play fourth quarter out of the studio? And wasn't you and Sharon cool at one time? And then all of a sudden, Sharon said that she realized what was going on. And when Rob said, bring his stuff back and you wouldn't, Sharon said she flipped on you at that point. So who was the empire that Sharon was working with? Are you trying to say you and your mom, or was it the feds? Make it make sense. That's all you got to do is sit back and listen to what Don say. He tell on himself every time he talk. You just got to be ready to decipher which one is which. So let's go here. Y'all heard this live recently. Stalks R. Kelly fans defrauded thousands of Kel supporters. If I would have defrauded anybody, if I would have stole anything, I would have been in jail when they came and grabbed my computer. But I said, let's look at these dumbass comments. Not the same house as anybody. Never stole shit from Rob. Never received a dime from anywhere. Never took or stole from anyone. I don't have to steal. Even when Rob was home, I said, I'll pay for my own stuff. Rob said, nah, baby, I got you. I said, nah. And Rob said, "What's your problem?" I said, I got a trust issue with people doing things for me because they're trying to throw it back in your face. And he said, "Oh, but you know, I ain't like that." Make it make sense. Then it says, "I disagree 100% with Sharon Wimbush. The protest was a success." Now watch this. This is the protest that got Rob stomped out at the MCC. And look where it's coming from. Los Angeles, California. Who lives out in LA? Or be out in LA? Don Russell. So now, when I say it be multiple people operating the account, now I'm almost to the finish line of this. And this going to fuck your head up when I get to the finish line. So he said, "I disagree 100% with Sharon Wimbush. The protest was a success. R. Kelly supporters don't let the naysayers haters stop the movement. Keep going." How can you call it a protest when they went to the door talking about bring them down and we want to do a welfare check at a jail, a federal facility? Make it make sense. Then he jumps down and say, "Larry McGee allegedly attempted to scam R. Kelly out of thousands along with Angelo Clary. They both needed to be charged with robbery and extortion." Then it says, "We are working on a video to expose Larry's role on the takedown of innocent R. Kelly. Stay tuned." Who talks like that? Don Russell. So then Allison Tolbert posted this. Bozo, the accuracy. Okay. Then this pop up. Pay attention. "Be careful who you receive information from. If you have doubt, do the research and hold liars accountable. Rob fighting for his freedom. Rob don't need people impeding his freedom. If you go on platforms, make sure you stating factual information." This right here, it said that him too gave wrong information. And look, Don Russell pointed out everybody. Right? Okay. Him too gave false information on opinionated news. It was stated Michael Avenatti worked on R. Kelly 2008 case. This information is false. Michael Avenatti, aka extortionist. This is why it's very important to research and fact check information from him too. And that's when the whole slander of him too started. But I got a question to ask you. With all the bull crap that came out and that was done on YouTube, why was Dana, Larry, Levi, Angelo, sometimes Sharon, and him too the only ones targeted? Why was Daboski, Bedbug, and everybody that followed them praised? Think about what channels Donnie Brasco went on. Bedbug, Rainbowski, To Be Determined, Phases, Hollywood Next, Blockbender. He frequented To Be Determined page. Choke No Joke. Do that make it kind of suspicious did that make it kind of suspicious that everybody he attacked had something done to help Robert, and he wanted the funds redirected from Robert to him? I'm just saying, things that make you go, things that make you look at certain things. Robert not in California. Bedbug not in California. Sherman Hemsley in Bolingbrook. Everybody that I have beef with is everywhere except for California. Here's the last question I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna put this on a chopping block for you, and I'm up out of here. When Don Russell got picked up, why Allison Tolbert disappeared? On that note, Don Russell.
This is not the type of tea I want.
It's over for you.
This is not the type of tea I want.
It's over for you.
This is not the type.
So with that being said, I asked a question. Nobody want to answer. So I'll give you the answer.
I'm like, he doesn't do any of that for Rob. I know who handles Rob's business. Matter of fact, it was me that was handling a majority of Rob's business at the time. Because Rob's business had intertwined into my business. So, but fast forward to answer the question, listen, there's a lot of folks in Rob's camp that has snaked him over down to something he would never believe. And unraveling the truths and asking Rob questions about people who stole from him and things of that nature and crew members that stole, nobody's even looking at. I mean, these girls are all smoke and mirrors. The Honda Pages, the Stockton McGee, the Phase Rod, that's smoke and mirrors. That's what they want us focused on. The real intruders, the people who really did wrong by this man in his own camp. Because even with all of them coming forth an accusation, everything that they're charging him for now is not based on him having sex with any of these girls. It's racketeering. It's trafficking. It's things that they're bending law to fit to have someone that he does have his day in court. Nobody's prepared for that. And the only way they arrived at that conclusion is because of the people that's right around Rob, the managers that were stealing, the accountants that were stealing, the lawyers that were stealing, the ecosystem that they designed to steal all this money from him. And the moment he started investigating they stealing, they planted landmines. So when he step out, boom, they go up in his face. And that's what I'm just talking about 5 or 6 people. I'm talking about every goddamn body. He was $900 million in the hole that should have been in his pocket where everybody stole from him. They gave him a weekly allowance. And that's what I investigated. So, of course, I'm going to have enemies because these motherfuckers know I know shit about their dirt. And we're preparing for that when we get to court. Everybody's thinking we should be prepared for Yolanda face. Fuck Yolanda. She done done so much dirt in her years. Listen, I can oppose her in 10 seconds and this shit would be over with. There's some motherfuckers like Cheryl Mack and a whole bunch of other names that don't nobody know exist in his life, and Barry Hankerson and goddamn Linda and goddamn Joan and Diane and Cash. Don't know anybody looking at them folks. Those are the ones that need to be under scrutiny and investigation right now. Fuck a Dana J, fuck a trying to pay. They ain't done nothing. We can get them out the way real easy. What about the ones who stole? Man, it seemed as if he was doing all this crooked shit and just to get out of, just to throw him under the bus so he couldn't come after them. That's what's going. That's what we're dealing with right now. So Dana don't know shit about none of that shit. So he needs to stop. He can tell us about these hoes all day long. All he's doing is distracting people from the real folks that have wronged this man and put him in that situation. And I wasn't one of them. I just came around the man a year and a half ago. The dirt has been done already. I mean, stop with that shit. Like I came to help this guy. I've known him since our childhood years. I cheat off this man today. I spent over $100 grand that I definitely can show. And if you Google my ass, you can see that I've got a background where it's possible. I've done good things in Hollywood. My family owns a chain of restaurants. I own a tech company, president and CEO. We fixed $3 million a couple of years ago for that tech company. So what am I doing but bringing my resources to the table to help this man? And people like Dana that's throwing shade on that, they're not helping him. They're not helping that man by doing that shit. Rob told Green, I'm going to twist to Greenberg real quick. Rob told Greenberg, and I'll say this to him if he was after his fucking phone, and it's funny, he after his phone, but Dana was not me.
Jealousy is a hell of a drug. He will answer his phone for Dana, but not me.
Took us in the studio in the back home, me and you, Greenberg, and said, Greenberg, work with Don. He's got the shit that you need to free me in this case. But this was when the case was a lot lesser. This one, there was lesser charges. This other shit that became federally and all that. Rob let down Greenberg for that shit. Matter of fact, Greenberg was brought to Rob out in the cold, who handled the Bill Cosby case. She couldn't do it, so he stepped his ass in when it was lesser charges. He's not equipped to handle these motherfucking charges that I just Rob, which is why I brought in Melvin off of that shit. And nobody else did. I flew out to California, met the man, brought him here twice, met him here, never said anything about the shit because Rob needs that level of attorney to put a blanket on this shit. He needs Andrew Wyatt, that level of a PR specialist to come in and blanket and control the fucking press. That's what he needs. Not these low-level motherfuckers who ain't never had a dog fight at the top of the mountain, they can't even breathe with this shit. So for them to keep going out here and first of all, none of these motherfuckers get along. They don't communicate. Doug doesn't communicate with fucking Greenberg. Greenberg don't communicate with Ray. Ray don't communicate with nobody. Nicole, all them motherfuckers are long range just trying to sling bullets and get pressed and shit for their own good. They're not helping that man. And if this will cause them to do it, then guess what? Bring y'all ass together, have some strategy sessions. Hey, listen, if I had some fucking information that was valuable to winning the game, to hear him out. But Rob told that motherfucker to talk to me, and he won't do it. Why? Why is it that he won't sit down and get the information that I have that nobody's focused in on? We don't want the world to know. I just want them to know. We're not trying to let the other side know about what we've come up with that will help defend this man. I want him to have it so he can use it to defend this man. And if he decides it's no good, it's fine too. But Rob asked that motherfucker to do that shit. And he still to this day will not fucking come out and he's gonna throw shots in the dark and shit that we did. If you want to know who ended Rob's motherfucking tax problem, my mother did that shit. We eliminated those tax problems from him. He's not gonna have no issue with that.
He said, "You want to know who eliminated the tax problems? I did. Oh, I'm sorry. My mother eliminated the tax problems. I bet he won't have no problems with the IRS now." Well, can I ask this question? Why is Rob $3 million in debt with the IRS then if you handle it? Let's finish.
IRS now, can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took him to eliminate some fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't.
Pay attention to what he said from this point on.
Can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. It's Tony portal. It's Tony contract. I have all of that shit. And I'm not leaked any of it because you know what? I want it to go into the hands of the right person. Not these low-life motherfuckers who are trying to touch, do books, stay in front of a fucking camera or microphone at his expense. He wouldn't have that shit if he was out. You know, damn well if Rob was on the streets, he would not have your ass speaking his dollar or raising money in his dollar. That's bullshit. So cut it out.
So it sounds like, I I hear the passion in your voice. And it obviously is weighing heavy on your heart. And I'm glad that you're actually out here being man enough to, approach these platforms and speak your mind. I guess the question I have.
I don't have to call into this shit. I got Rolling Stones, CBS, NBC, all normally put me in front of a camera. But the moment I get in front of that camera, I'm a target now. I can't move around and do what the fuck I'm doing. I got people sending death threats because of the dumb shit that Dana and the idiots are fucking spewing out here. Cut it the fuck out. You're not helping this man. You can go online and see it. If you ask me listed as his fucking manager, I didn't do that shit. I did articles here for months ago for him because he asked me to. So when all the other managers stole from him, I said, listen, Rob, you don't need another manager. I'll be your consultant and your fucking advisor. When I went and spoke, the papers made me his fucking manager because I spoke so eloquently and I had so much background that they researched. So you're
saying, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you're saying that Dana's responsible for possibly putting a hit on you. Is that what you're saying?
First of all, I'm not worried about it. I'm connected too high to different sources that have a word about some shit like that.
No, I'm not saying you're worried. I'm not saying you're worried. I'm just picking up the accusation. Now, you ain't supposed to be worried about it, not as a man, but I'm just saying because all of this is heavy and it's dark. You know what I'm saying? These streets right now is dark. So what I'm saying is that are you saying that Dana is responsible for putting a hit on you? Do you think that Dana has that?
Okay. It's not just Dana. Dana's working with Willie and a few other folks too.
So they're putting a hit on you. You think that they're all in on
a hit on me because they know what I know about him. See, I could easily put this shit out right now, but it's not going to help in this case.
Pay attention. They know what I know about him. Not them, but him. Pay attention.
I'm putting it in the hands of the right attorney. We had a couple of attorneys that came in and interviewed with Rob. Mezzanoff is sitting back and waiting. He wants money. We got ways to raise the money, but they won't give it as long as fucking Steve Greenberg is in the position because he's a fucking idiot. Look at the fucking motion he filed. They gonna say his client wanted him to do. I don't give a fuck. If my client did want me to do that, I wouldn't have filed no motion saying he needs to see his two girlfriends. He got a right-handed problem and a fucking hernia. That's the dumbest shit in the world you could put in a motion. And then laughing at Rob and his ass all the way every day because of dumb shit like moves like that they keep making.
Let me ask you.
Then the judge said, tell their ass to shut the fuck up. He did.
So let me ask you.
And then you had a federal attorney COMICAL to tell you, don't file that fucking motion because it's not going to help. I'm preparing one that will get here, but I'm not going to say what the solution is.
Now, let me help y'all. The federal attorney that Don talking about is the one he got now, Friedman. Robert refused to use Friedman.
What to do with it, but if there was a solution presented, Greenberg goes ahead and does the shit anyway. He's not even a fucking federal attorney. He's fucking a state guy. He's horrible at that. He got fired for Patterson, Drew Patterson, who killed the police officer, killed his wife, for fucking being incompetent. The fucking knucklehead. If you want to shut me up, call me and get me in your fucking office so we can have a conversation. But other than that, I'm going on every show and I don't give a fuck who likes it or not. And I'm going to tell the goddamn truth. So at least it's out there in the when people start seeing this shit, they're going to come to your ass with it.
Well, only thing I can say, Don.
This is not the type of tea I want.
It's over for you.
This is not the type of tea I want.
It's over for you.
Swimming in you. Hey, little mama. Said I'm gonna take her. Dipping your pool. Just go for look out there. Hey.